Hi, Jeanne Fiorini here. Thanks for joining the Tarot Tips. Today we're going to continue in our three-part series about talking about different ways to read the cards, different aspects of yourself that you might use in order to do your interpretation of your cards. Today's installment is going to be talking about notice what you notice. This, like I said in the previous video, relies primarily on what you know about the cards, but also allows for some in-the-moment epiphanies. Cards have so many different details on them: colors, pictures, people, items, little, maybe sometimes seemingly insignificant little details that really capture your eye. This can give you a lot of information about what the card is trying to tell you, what information might want to be talked about in a reading. So today we're going to talk about this notion of notice what you notice. I think I'll use the same question as I did in the previous reading. I'll be talking about my work life. We saw last time that there might be some changes coming, but we'll see what we see today. So let's go to the tarot table and see what's up. As I made note of in the previous video, this is an exercise that allows us to be a little bit more in the moment, to be a little bit open to spontaneous insights, to let intuition come through a little bit. And sometimes intuition comes through by capturing our attention on some focus in the card. We'll see what we see. As I also mentioned before, as you're drawing your cards, I always think it's a good idea to leave them face down so we don't get distracted. So I'm still going to use the 3-card layout, past, present, future, but I'm going to do the notice what I notice. Okay, here's the past, here's the present. We're going to pull these ones right up in the front here, see what we see. Make sure they show up in the frame. Okay, notice what you notice. Past, 2 of Swords. So what do I notice? I notice the blindfold. I notice that there's just one person in the card. I notice that there's a lot of shutting out the outer world and focusing either on the inner information or just sort of shutting out outer input and going about your own business. Let's see, what else do I notice there? I notice a sense of guardedness with the way she's got those swords, playing it close to the vest, let's say. So we'll see what other cards come up. I just had a little intuitive hit there, and so I'll wait and see if it's supported or reinforced by other cards that we get. So yeah, I notice a sense of solitude. I notice a sense of inner focus. I notice a sense of singularity and guardedness. Notice how that really didn't have much to do with the book interpretation of that card. That's kind of the method that we're working with. Okay, present energy. Queen of Pentacles, I'll leave it reversed. What do I notice? The first thing I notice there is that I really notice that bright yellow sky in the background. I notice, even though that card is reversed, she looks much more fulfilled. She looks filled in. She looks multicolored, and just personally, I like those colors. I like those jewel tones that are coming through. And I guess I'm really noticing that yellow sky. It feels happy. I notice that it feels positive. I guess I'm noticing that even though the ground is here and the sky is here, there's something about this arbor or border here that feels like it's supporting this queen even though she's reversed. What else do I notice? To me, it seems a very big contrast. Even though there's still just one person in the card, this feels cool. This feels abundant. So I'm noticing the abundance here. Future, 10 of Wands. What do I notice? Another reverse card. What do I notice? I'm looking at all of those wands. I'm looking at the X. It looks like an X to me. Those wands. I'm noticing this. To me, this card seems like a combination of the blue here and then these colors a little bit more in the wands in his dress and a little bit with that ground there. Let's see, what else do I notice? Even though when we put this card like this, it feels like there's effort. It feels like there's almost more effort pushing them that way upside down. It feels like there's a lot of effort being made to kind of keep them on the ground and keep pushing them this way, which essentially would be toward the past. Let's see, we have 3 different elements there. We have a sword card here, which would be about thinking, a pentacle card here, which would be about, you know, the concrete, the money, the security, the stability, the sense of well-being, and then the energy that's being expended card, wands. So if I'm going to tell a story based on what I notice in those cards, I'm going to say that a period of solitude, a period of maybe some isolation, has moved into a period of abundance and support that maybe isn't fully appreciated, and that energies don't need to be in the future to be careful of pressing too hard or taking steps in a backward motion. You know, the future wants to move ahead, not backwards. So I would look at that 10 of Wands and say, okay, if I'm reading for myself or for somebody else, I would say, be careful about where you're pushing old rivers that don't need to be pushed anymore. Subject to interpretation. We'll be interested to see what happens there. Past, present, future. 3 really different looking cards from each other. So I hope that gives you an idea of that particular method, that way of relating to the cards. Doesn't really have anything to do with book knowledge. It has to do with the pictures, how it hits you, what's standing out to you. Just as valid as anything else when it comes to reading tarot. Okay, so that'll give you something to work with, play around with, and we'll see you next time.